Are you all right with that? It's going now.
I
Yeah,
did live stream now.
yeah. We're going to do it now.
Ah, okay.
And it's going. So welcome to this live stream on YouTube with Eleanor and Minter, two people I've met on my journey. It's been a very interesting journey of self-discovery and self-evaluation, actually, to try and find who I am, my true self, and to actually find my self-image, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Self-image and how does this reflect into the real world, the material world that we live in? Because when you think about it, when you say about what does your house look like, or what does your car look like, or what does your garden look like, you'll say you'll have mental pictures in your mind. But when you say what is your mind, or what does your mind look like, most people actually think about the brain. It's not the brain. It's more ethereal than that. The mind actually doesn't come from the brain. In fact, our consciousness doesn't come from the brain. It's a receiver and transmitter of information. So if you want to introduce yourself, Memento and I don't know which one of whoever goes first, that's fine with me. Just introduce yourself and just say what you think about self-image. Do you want me to pick first?
Yeah, you choose who is.
All right, we'll go with Eleanor first. No favorites here, but Eleanor first. So I'm actually working with Eleanor on a workshop with self-image. So yeah, what have you got to say about self-image?
Yeah, hi everyone who is listening to us. Self-image is a picture which we have about ourselves, and we have two pictures. One is that we project to outside world. We can say something and think something for outside. And maybe you notice that sometimes it's happened that you say something that you will do it, and you may think that you will do it, and later you can start speaking to yourself, having that inner dialogue, and that the inner dialogue will in that inner dialogue you will hear that, oh, like, but how can I do that? Nobody in my family did that. I am not like that. So we have two pictures of ourselves. One is which we project to outside, and another one is which we have about ourselves. And that picture which we have inside about ourselves dictates everything. It dictates our results, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we dress, meet people, and everything that we think is possible comes from that picture. There is a difference how people see themselves and which goals they set for themselves to achieve. If they see themselves limited or not deserving, or maybe like failures, or maybe not successful, they will not even set big goals, because they will not allow themselves to see that it is possible for them, because that picture which they have about themselves, it will limit the way how they think, and the way how they dream. And potentially every person is so powerful, and we have unlimited potential. There is unlimited if we look at the universe, there is no end. Yes, there is unlimited way to extend, like outside, and unlimited way inside. If we see the space, there is no end. And if we look inside of the cell, it also no end. But we go smaller, 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 and there is no end. So we also have been created as creators. So we have that power to create everything. And if you look around us, like the anything, you see, even mobile or computer or door or house, everything was created twice. First time in the mind, and then it took physical form. And this everything in the universe was created as well. From everything is energy and came from the one source. And only one thing that limits us is our mind. We limit ourselves when we don't study ourselves and when we don't know those tools which we can use to become anybody we want. Because if we want to achieve something, and we can achieve anything, and if somebody else achieved what we want, it means that we also can do that. And the only difference is between that person and us, that that person's self-image, how he saw himself, it this achievement was a part of his picture. And he saw himself that he could do it, and he saw that it was possible to achieve. And that's why, because he believed that it was possible for him, he just asked the question, how can I do it? What I have to do? Who are right people for me to ask for direction? Who already did that? Who is my role models? And he just went to that. And another person who doesn't have that and think that, oh, it is so big, how can I do it? I can never do it. And he just, if he says that I cannot do it, it means that this is his choice. And when he thinks I cannot do it because his self-image doesn't have that picture in it, this is how he doesn't even think how to do it and what he have to do, and he never goes for that. So everything just starts from this self-image which we have about ourselves. And there is a big difference between the knowledge and ignorance. Yes, because if we have the knowledge about ourselves, if we have the knowledge about our potential, and we know that everything is possible, and we are so powerful, and we are not even who we were told by our parents or teachers or other people. We have to study ourselves and find who we really are and who we really can become. And if we have that knowledge, it gives us power. It makes us unstoppable, and it will get us everywhere where we can just imagine in our mind. And this is what we will do in our workshop. We will share with you uh, some information, and that will help you to understand what is your mind, who you are, what is your huge potential, how to unleash it, and how to write your new self script, a new image script that you will have to give you potential to see where you can be, and that you can go there with confidence and live the life that you deserve and that you desire.
How wonderful is that? I totally agree with you. I remember when I went through like a really big schooling system. It was probably one of the top schools in England. I call it conditioning rather than schooling. And I was thought, well, I've got to go and get a decent job. So I thought got into the sales world. Before that, though, when I was a kid and growing up, I used to have like a tennis racket, and I used to be playing at Wembley Stadium, being a rock star, singing along to David Bowie and things like that. And as I got into my sales world, about a year into it, and I was earning good money, I had a mortgage, I had a nice flat and everything. It all looked really rosy. And I go, oh, wow, Peter's doing really well. I said, forget this. This is just not me. I can't stand this anymore. So I walked away. I gave the keys back to the estate agents saying, I don't want the mortgage anymore. I'm becoming a professional musician. And I just did it. I just bang. And everyone goes, you've lost your mind. You completely lost your mind. But I realized, like you were saying, I had the real power inside of me to do it. And then I had to think, how am I going to do this? And I just let the universe take me to wherever it took me. And then I realized I had to do little things, like I'd go and watching a bass player every week in the local pub who's like a really top bass player in the area, and just following in, taking my bass home and practicing that over and over again what he was doing. And yes, it got me to play stadium gigs. It got me to release albums. It got me touring around Europe and the UK. And I had a brilliant time, but it came to an end. But it was having that real feeling, this is not me. This is limiting me to this place. And I was just speaking to Raminta before this call started, and I don't know if you want to share about what you're up to at the moment, but it's interesting to say that you're not living what I would call the conditioned soul life, because it's not just the physical body, it's the soul that gets conditioned, that comes into this five sense reality, and we get conditioned to say, this is how it's got to be. No, it hasn't. So if you want to share, Raminta, about what you feel self-image is, and possibly if you feel inclined to talk about what you're up to at the moment.
Thank you for having me in such an amazing topic, and I'm really glad that you're doing this workshop. I'm sure that it will benefit for everyone. I loved what Elena was sharing about self-image. For me, it's, while listening, I was thinking that self-image is like a box. It's like a box. For some people, it becomes a prison in three-dimensional world we are living, which is limited in time and space, and it's really affected by how society works, what traumas we have, what we experienced in our childhood. That's why we sometimes see ourselves as limited ones, and usually see ourselves less than even other people see us and all the potential we have. And this is how we keep ourselves in that box. But many people don't know, or don't want to admit, or it's not the path to understand that we are more than this box, that that we are soul, that actually there's unlimited possibilities, that actually there is no space and time, and only we limit ourselves. Only we decide that we want to stay in this box, to follow the rules of society, or not even the society. Actually, we internalize those rules, and we believe ourselves that it is the way it should be, that we should, as we discussed with Peter before, that we should finish school, we should go to university, we should get married, we should get a house, like standard way. Society can offer this to us, but we are the ones, we can accept that or not. And actually it takes a lot of strength, a lot of wisdom, a lot of inner work to get out of these traps and ask yourself, who I am truly, a part of this box, who I am if I release all these statuses that I have, if who I am as a person, what is my soul's purpose, what do I want to achieve in my life, what attachments I have to release in order to know myself and understand what I really want. So this is pretty difficult journey, and what I experienced recently personally, I'm going through the shifts as well right now. Maybe I will share that later, because it's still in the process. But one of major shifts in my life happened half a year ago, when I moved out from Lithuania to London. Decided that I want to change my life and follow my soul's purpose. I wanted to become to be a global speaker, not to stick only to local market. And this half-year journey in London was really incredible, and I experienced a lot. I met my ego. I blow off all the illusions that I have about what I have to do in life, and now I'm at that point that I'm asking myself again, what is my path? What is my purpose? And how to appreciate, how to honor the freedom that I was looking for all my life and that I have now, and what I can create with that, for my life personally and for the people around me. How can I serve the world at the best possible way, and how I can let myself live on the highest timeline, because there are a lot of timelines, a lot of possibilities we can choose. And my goal, my mission, my wish, my desire is to jump on that, to be on that, to stay on that, and yeah, and stop limiting myself, because this is what I was doing all my life. I'm done with that. I don't want that anymore. And I want to inspire as well as many people as I can to do that, by sharing my message, by doing what I can do. So yeah, this is a perfect topic, perfect timing, and thanks for having me here. I'm
No,
really enjoying. Yeah. It's while talking, I'm discovering a lot of things, and while listening to you guys, so it's amazing. It's amazing.
that's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have it, have a conversation with you. Yeah, ego, getting out of your own way, getting out of your real true self way. We called it your true self in the Ki Gong practice that I took on about 15 years ago. And what we used to do is we call it the second chakra, or the sacral chakra, the energy center of the lower body, which is where your power, your passion, your creativity comes from. And we used to tap that, and we used to say, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And when you ask people that question, what do you actually want? It's usually really foggy. And that's because in today's society, because everything's so unstable and everything seems to be moving about, even to the point where the shifts of the planes of the earth are moving around as well. And our poles are shifting, the poles, the electromagnetic poles are shifting. So everything's shifting at the moment. So everybody feels a little bit unstable. And so really working on that lower, we call it the lower danjon, or the second chakra, really starts to actually ground you back into the energies of the earth, which gives you the platform that you can actually build up from. And what I found, I was in a room full of people, and of course my ego was sitting there with me going, you're so brilliant, Peter, look at you, you're amazing, all this kind of stuff. And I'm tapping away thinking, what do I actually want though? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And it was just a real noise. I can't explain it, but it was a really noisy room because everyone's screaming at the top of their voices, about 20 to 30 people. And I just went, love. That's all I want is love. And everything went calm in my body. It just went, boom. And I hear this noise now, and it's not affecting me. And I see my ego and going, get out, you're in the way, go away. So I think that ego thing is important. People don't realize what the ego is. It's not about your true self. Your true self, it's okay to shine. It's okay to be big and dream big and think you can be the best human being you possibly can. If you need to work on your singing, or you need to work on your guitar playing, or your public speaking, do it to be the best you possibly can. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with shining in front of people either, but it's that false sense. It's difficult to put into words because it's like very sort of Morpheus almost. It's almost like intangible, but it's that little thing that gets in the way that tells you, well, you don't need to be doing that because you're so brilliant. And that kind of sort of false egotistical feeling. I in the Ki Gong practice, we hold it in front of our solar plexus and split to heaven and earth so the energies can be taken out of the body. But I think the ego and self-image are two contradictory things. Personally, I think we have a real true sense of our true self, which is, as Elena was saying, we are down to the proton in every atom of our body is connected to everything in the universe. That's how far quantum physics has come. So we're literally connected to everything in the universe. We can't, I love the way, what's his name? Nassim Haramein talks about drawing the lines as you go smaller and smaller and smaller. So, well, how small can this go? So we don't know. We can't even conceive it with our minds. It's a bit like we can't conceive how big this is with our minds either. So coming from that place, you realize I am actually amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. We're all amazing. This is just a phenomenal experience. What are we doing? Going to work, getting a mortgage, blah, 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 blah. When we should be out experiencing this and sharing this beautiful experience with each other, with a bit of laughter, a bit of fun, sadness as well. Because me personally, I feel like I'm going through like a life a life review in this time, the last year, it's been a life review. All these things come up and you go, oh God, did I really do that? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That wasn't my intention. So that is, to me, also is part of my ego breakdown. And it's not a bad thing to break down your ego. I think ego is an important subject that we should all think about and start to come out from our true selves. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Only by breaking down you can discover. I mean, you can make peace and yeah, and move forward. I think.
Yes.
Sorry, Elena, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, ego will always be with us. Just a question if we allow it to be on the driver's seat and dictate where we want to go and dictate what we can do and what we cannot do. Or we can just make agreement with it that it will be in the passenger seat and we get control in our hands and we put the direction of our vehicle.
Definitely. It's like a protection mechanism. I see it
Yeah,
as
because, yeah, because it just like at the age of 7 years boy with you who just want to be protected and he doesn't know future, it just knows the past. And as far as you don't you are not in danger, you are alive, this is what is enough for ego. And every time you want to go something new, it will protect you. So it is not that it is negative, just it is at that very limited space. And now you just can say that, okay, I just speak to your ego and say that everything will be okay, everything will be fine now. I know how to do that. Let me drive. And you just be quiet in the passenger seat. Yeah, so because it is just protection. Yeah, just at the point that if we are not in danger, if we are not dying, that is okay, right? And it will just keep you there. And it is time to understand that if we allow it to drive and control our decisions and our life, we will not get anywhere. And it will be something that we would regret for things which we didn't do. Yeah, that always people regret. They don't regret about things that they did and maybe failed. That is okay, because this is from the failure we can learn and we can grow. And all success comes from failures. There is nothing that, or nobody that didn't fail and just became very successful, because failure is a part and we have to have that right attitude to the failure. Yes, and our ego, it doesn't have that attitude. It doesn't want to fail. It just wants to us to be right. Yeah, but it is not necessary to be right and not to do anything. It is important to have failures and have experience in life and constantly grow, because nothing is the same. We grow and become better and have new experience in life, develop ourselves. Or if we don't do that, we just will disintegrate. We just get downwards, backwards.
Yeah, it's like the comfort zone, isn't it? When your ego keep you in the comfort zone, and that just leads to stagnation. You don't grow, and we are designed to be growing. That's what I personally feel, that our experience on the earth is to learn. We're here to grow and learn, and we're there's something happened in the energetic field that's always recycling, the same as the material world is always recycling. We're coming back through again another recycle, actually breaking down these preconceptions that we have of this material world to realize actually we're going back to source, going back to God, if you want to put it that way. Some people can't use the word God, but it could be source or the field or the energy field. We're actually purifying. It feels to me, the work that I've been doing, I didn't realize I'd never be speaking like this 20 years ago. If I was hearing someone speak like this, I'd be going, I think you've lost your mind. Now I feel that this is a real cleansing of what we are and who we are as human beings, and how we can go up to different levels, which is all about you, again, understanding how the mechanics of the universal laws actually work, like the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of correspondence, as above, so below. So, like I was saying, that down to the tiny proton, it's the same as the enormous universe. Is as above, so below. What we feel inside is what reflects back to us from the universe. And that's why I feel I'm going through this whole crazy sort of life review, because what I'm reflecting into the universe is things that I'm actually starting to heal within myself. And I'm going, this is really cool. And talking about sort of rejection and failures, I saw somebody speaking the other day on YouTube. Start to enjoy your rejections, and I'm going, yeah, okay, I will. I'm going to start smoking. But I'm not interested in what you're doing. We'll go away. You're horrible. Laugh and smile. Go, yeah, okay, and then ask, well, do you want to share a bit more than that? If not, you're fine. You know, that's okay. Because I used to take things like that so personally. I used to think everybody's got to love me. Everybody's got to love Peter. Peter's so brilliant. Blah blah blah. I don't feel like that anymore. It's that's gone. It's if people resonate with me now, great. If they don't resonate with me, that's fine as well. As long as I'm not doing something that is not vibrationally in equilibrium with me, then I'm fine with that. If I'm doing something that's not really my vibration, then I have to work on that. It's not them who has to do anything. They can just come and go as they please. It's me who has to do that vibrational work inside of myself. And I get that now. I get how important this self-work is, and how to improve your self-image is really what we're here to do. I feel it's as simple as that. And then when you go out into the material world, whichever way you choose to go, whether to be completely financially free, or whether you want to be in a good family, or create a great family, or create a great business, or whatever you want to do, you do that and do it to the best of your ability, but coming from the true self, the self-image that should be you, your vibrational match. And I love that way Bob Proctor does it when he draws a line of frequencies, and he goes, where do you want to be with this frequency, or what level of success? And he draws a little cross about 2/3 of the page up, and he goes, well, that's great, you know, you can get there quite easily. He goes, what if you wanted to go here? And he goes to the top of the page and go, dream big, like Alina was saying, dream big, really dream big. Make sure your dreams as big as you can possibly get them. And when you aspire to get there, I found I got there, but with music, not in the way that I thought I was going to get there. But when I actually reflect and look back on it, it was exactly what I asked for. It wasn't in the way that I wanted it or desired it, as it were, at that point, because some of that was coming from this ego, the safe place. A lot of it was coming just from my pure intention and my imagination of putting myself into that place. And I think that's where we get a bit foggy in our, what I would call the sixth chakra. We like Joe Dispenza talks a lot about it, the electricity coming back out. We push electricity out, which is the energy coming up the spine, and it comes back into the pineal gland. It's all foggy because all of this is not working properly, because we've got all these preconceptions within the body. And I think, yeah, I get that now, because what was coming back to me was foggy. So my vision of it was a little bit foggy, but what came into reality was like, yeah, I'll go with that one. I thought I enjoyed that one. That was a ride. It's like my brother, who worked his backside off to set up a £1 million company. And he turned around to me and said, well, you know, I've done this £1 million company, Peter, but you've lived a life. Look at your life. Look what you've done. All these things that you've achieved, that you set out to do. And no, it's not a £1 million company yet, but this is the next phase of my existence, is to be financially free, which is the next phase now for me, which is what I'm absolutely 100% focusing on. And to do that, it looks like it's easy, possible. You can do it with your imagination and your vision, and which is what I did with music. I've done it with my Ki Gong school. Now I'm going to do it with this self-image business. So yeah, ego is important, and what you believe inside needs to be aligned with your true self. Definitely.
Oh, I love, Peter, what you told. Self-image business is how you actually take that take that stubborn guy ego and you make it work as it can work best. This is ego's job to do all the structures, to make all the sense to all the things. And for me, what Elena was talking about, taking a driver's seat. So I was smiling to myself because I imagined us like true ourselves, like a parents to that ego, to that sometimes stubborn, having all these imaginations and struggles, and we have to parent him. We have to parent him and nourish him, and to make sure that he's all right, that he has enough space to do its own thing, and just with love to see it and to let them do what it can do, what it can do best, but not to overtake us. Children don't have to overtake us. We we are the boss in a way. We know who we are. We are more. So this is the image I have. So I really loved how you call self-image business, because this is how we can make peace with the different parts of ourselves. I loved it. I loved it.
Definitely, it's about understanding yourself as a human being, and we are so complex. So complex. It is unbelievably complex. In one cell of your body, even one atom, but one cell, you've got the same amount of activity as an enormous battleship going to war, with all the stuff that's happening on that battleship. Same amount of stuff happening in that one cell. And within that one cell, same as your brain and the same as the rest of your body, it's all built on perception, i.e., what it perceives to be safe and what it perceives not to be safe, which is why I find the pharmaceutical industry so dangerous, because they're not putting that placebo perception type of thought into any of the medications they're putting. They're just treating symptoms rather than causes. So this perception with us is incredible. And I do this in my Ki Gong classes. I always say, think of something that you're grateful for or something that makes you joyful, because these are higher consciousness feelings that we have, or interactions in our body, actions in our body. Higher consciousness, they're higher consciousness that make you feel more connected to the field, because the physical body has its own physical laws, like Newtonian laws, but the mind, the higher parts of the mind, thinking parts of the mind, and the joy, gratitude, love, all these feelings are higher consciousness. And when you get involved with those conscious feelings, time, like you said, I mean, time does not exist in that realm. Time exists on this linear realm, which is where Kronos obviously came along, the god of time, and came along, I give you time, or something happened in this material world that gives us this time, feeling of time, but it's a cycle. And when you realize it's a cycle, you had these cycles as well. Women have cycles, men have cycles, we all have cycles. And you get stuck in these cycles thinking, and it happens to me a lot, and it's happened to me recently, you go, oh God, what's happening now? And what's happening now is there's a cycle where things come, bad things come, and yet they don't affect me like they used to 20 years ago. When they used to affect me, is thinking, oh no, everything's breaking down. This is the end of the world. I can't do anything. Now I'm going, okay, well, what's this going to teach me? Oh yeah, great. I've got to go here. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And it's incredible how, when you start to realize the energetic makeup of the body, and you start to watch what's going on with, and journal as well. I never used to journal. Going through the Ki Gong practice, when I go back to what I used to be like to what I am now, you're going, wow. Yes. It's like even my wife says, I can't believe it, but you've changed. I can't believe that you've changed. And yes, you're moving and adapting and growing and learning and taking on new things and making yourself flow with this beautiful energy that we're in. We're in a flow. Especially right now, we're at the crashing point of a wave. And the point is, with all of us, is to get on top of that wave and ride it. And it'll be beautiful for you, because I feel that I used to think this is such an unjust world, everything's wrong, blah, blah, blah. But actually, when you flip that over and you see exactly everything that's happening, you can realize, well, I didn't do this, but we've been given freedom of choice. And that choice is important, because when you realize actually some of the thoughts that I've been having as a younger man have been contributing to this crazy chaos that we live in, then I'm part responsible for that. So, and I put it in a speech the other day about, I need to clean my backyard up before I look at the world and say the world's in a mess. I've got to clean up this mess in my backyard first, and make sure that when I'm making that backyard bigger and bigger and bigger around me, so people can come and join me and they're cleaning up their backyard. So you create the world around you like that, rather than having a big authoritarian person like my ego, baby ego, go, you will be doing this and this and this. And no, we've had all of that. We've had all of that. We've done all of that to the nth degree. I feel now this evolutionary period for us to go into a golden age comes from inside, really, really, truly from all of us. It's not about individuals coming up like we've had Jesus and Muhammad and Gandhi and John Lennon, Bob Marley, Abraham. Millions of people come up individually as what they call prophets. Now I think it's about all of us actually standing up into our place where we should be as energetic beings and saying, yeah, we are here now to actually live the life that we should. And it doesn't have to be that many to change the vibration of the world. Some people say 10, 15% of people waking up and growing like this, I think, will change the world personally. But who knows? I'm not really worried about that. I'm more worried about my internal world and the interactions that I have with people around me, and the love that I have for the people around me, and the acceptance now everybody's different, and that we need to be seeing the picture from all different angles, but sharing that viewpoint. It's like when you get 5 blindfolded people all around the elephant, feeling the elephant, one of them is going to be saying, no, the elephant's like a trunk. And another one's going to be saying the elephant's like the legs or the tails or the ears. And of course, every single one of them is right until they share their experience with each other. And then they realize there's something a lot bigger to this than meets the eye. And that's what I feel actually the journey into your self-image and your true self is for us to share like this. So we see there's something a lot bigger outside of us that's actually guiding us in the right direction. Anybody else?
Yeah, and everything starts from decision, right? So everything
Yes.
starts from decision, as you said, that there is a moment in life when people come to the place that they think that there is something more for me. I want to be more, do more, have more. Yes, and this is where time to understand that everything that we achieved till this moment is because we were thinking that way, we were making decision that way, we were behaving that way, right, in past. And we had that self-image from which everything came to exist. And now if we want to change our results and we want to be more, have more, the first thing to change is to create our own self-image by ourselves. Not as before it was created by somebody else, but now it is time to get the power in our hand and start to be creators and to be the star of our own movie that is our life. And in this workshop, which we'll do together, those people who are listening to us and attend our shop in person or online also we will do. So we will come out from that workshop with the ready script of new self-image. We will do it during this practice, and you will start living that person, because in order to achieve anything new, in order to create new reality, you have to build or create your new personality. And this is what we are speaking about. You will create your new self-image, you will create your new self, and also you will learn in our workshop. We will share with you these techniques how to embody that image. Like in the movies, when the actress or actors play the role, when we watch the movie, we don't think that, oh, this person now is this, but in his life different. We get into the movie, and we feel and we connect to these people with these actors like it is their real life. Yes, we feel we they are in the picture, and we experience everything what happens, and then we connect to these people, and we all have our favorite actors, and we don't know maybe about their life. Yes, like how they really live, or what is their really character, because we connected with them in that movie, and we associate them with what we saw their character in the movie. And sometimes it is even difficult to differentiate. We just think that they are like, this is this person, right? So exactly, but how it started, how he accomplished this, how he became, he did that. It all started from the script. He got the script, he read the script many times, he imagined all the scenes, he felt it, he started becoming that person. So initially he became that person in his mind, and he just like put that person on his person, yeah, like put a new clothes on him, and he started performing as that person. And this is exactly what we will do. We will write our new self-image based on our dreams, based on our desires, and then we will act and be every day that person. Because in order to get something new, achieve something new, results in life, we have to be that person. We cannot get anything if we are not that person. We have to become that person now, like this day, and then we will start building from today those results which we really want to have in our life. And all those results just depend on what you decide. You decide, you make decision and go for it, and don't even ask how. As Peter told, he didn't know how, but he decided, I'm going for it. And this is the secret. Everything comes from decision. And the moment you decide, you flip to different frequency. Again, that Peter said that there are unlimited number of frequencies. It is like channels. And in every channels, there is your different life, and there is unlimited scenarios which can be in your future life. And which scenario you use, which future you build, it starts from your decision today.
Most definitely. And I think to go with that frequencies, because I found it a little bit difficult to get my head around the frequency business, is if you look at your hand and your fingerprints are completely unique to you. So why is that? Why is your hand and your fingerprints completely unique to you? Well, in the Vedic scripts, the ancient texts of India, they talk about this being the imprint of your soul, i.e., when your energy comes into your body, your energy prints your life map here. But you don't have to stick to this. You don't have to stick to this. If you got, say, well, you've got an average life of blah blah blah, you can change that, which is why we have freedom of choice, free will here. But to me, that makes it really obvious about different frequencies, because we've all come in with the different frequencies. Might be a fractional difference that we can't even understand, but it's different. Mine is different to yours and yours. And it's therefore there's something to this frequency that we've really got to start to open our minds to that and realize we can come in at different frequencies. It's very easy to attach ourselves to the lower frequencies, because that's basically what our society conditions us to do. We're conditioned to think about all this lower stuff and all this getting out your mind with alcohol and drugs and things like that, and going through all these different phases of life, and you're enticed into these different things, and you go, okay, well, I remember I had a friend who did that, and he was still in his 40s when I was in a band when he was doing that. And I was just watching him become a shell of a human being, because he thought everything was like in the material world. He was taking meth, amphetamine, he was taking heroin, cocaine, he was going to prostitutes, he was a musician, and he thought this is the rock and roll lifestyle. And yet I would sit and have really big theological discussions with him about certain things that he'd studied. And I'd have to go to sleep and then wake up the next morning and then go through what he'd gone, because my consciousness needs I needed to flow because I wasn't so flowing then. And I had to flow the consciousness in to have a discussion back with him about that. And he go, where did you get that from? I said, I don't know. They just came from that discussion last night. It just came through me. And now I'm responding to you. And then I used to say to him, don't chase it in the material world. Don't chase it in the material world. Let the energy flow through you from your true self, your true essence, and then things will come to you. But he didn't, and he wouldn't. And it was such a sad thing to see people do that who are really messed up with how this all works, because I think you're so spot on, Eleanor. It's that script and then the imagination coming in and imagining us into this place. And just every day you're imagining yourself into this place. And then you start subconsciously to actually make steps to put yourself into that position. It's my teacher, Ilchi Lee from the Ki Gong. He wrote a book saying, I want to live 120 years. So we did like he said to us, say this every day for like a month. Right, I'm going to live 120 years. I'm going to live 120 years. All of a sudden, right, this is your exercise goes up. The food that you eat becomes much more healthy. You're actually looking for clean water. You're trying to clean the environment up from the EMFs. Anything that's coming into your body, you suddenly realize, okay, I'm going to clean this up. And it's just by saying to yourself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Keep going over this script that you want to create for yourself. And therefore, it will come into your physical reality, not by grabbing and chasing and trying to find it. It comes in naturally and it rolls out naturally. And it's actually a beautiful wave. It's a beautiful wave. And that's why I love the Ki Gong practice I do, because that's what we're doing all the time. We're waving the body into this natural position. And when we do this as human beings, we actually live so much more of a fulfilled life. I think it's just incredible what this has to offer. But we get stuck in these little places. And yes, I still do. There's times when in days, some days you think, oh, what am I doing here? Then I create my way out of it. It's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. You just create your way out of it. You go, okay, this is a problem or this is an issue. How do we get past this? Rather than thinking, oh, this is never going to work. This is all rubbish. You know, I've had this again last year. This is the same thing this year. No, it's the energy and the attitude that you have towards it. And so right, and the decision, I'm going to do this. And then focus. Where your mind goes, your energy follows. Focus on what you're going to do. Definitely. So self-image, so important. And the workshops are happening in Brighton every month. And we're going to be doing them online very soon when we get that together. So yeah, watch out for them. Any last thoughts or words from either of you?
Yeah, so first workshop in person will be in Brighton on 14 September, and everyone is welcome. It will be a great experience. People who attended the workshop, they saw the change in the way how they see themselves just after the workshop, the same day. And we have amazing testimonials. So it will be definitely a great experience. And for many people, it will be the day from where your lifestyle will start change, because you will not be that person anymore who you are now. You will create your new personality, and from that, creation of your new reality will start as well.
Beautiful. Amita?
I want to remind that how we get to the things we want is not important, and our limited selves, our limited thinking from the perspective of presence, we cannot see that. But having an intention and having an elevated emotion, as Joe Dispenza says, and just as you told, being an energetic match for the things we want is the way. We don't have to think of many things, how to do, what to do exactly. These things will come up naturally, and we don't know the way now, but the thing we have to know, and we have to stick, what do we want? What do we want, and who we have to be together. So love the conversation, love the topic, and and wish you all the best with your workshops, and more and more people to join to experience this.
How
Yeah,
blessed.
we are looking forward to meet you also.
Yes.
Oh yeah, who knows, Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the workshop coming up in the middle of September, and we'll be having another discussion like this at the beginning of next month. If you're both of you are free, then you're more than welcome to join me. So I'll give you a big love, and I'll give you a virtual hug.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna say
Thank you.
goodbye to everybody.